All right. I apologize. We have a brand new IT system. Hopefully you can hear me. So we're trying to make sure it works, and we're not certain that it is. Okay, we'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. Val, if you call the roll, please.
Commissioner Snell.
Here.
Commissioner Curry.
Here.
Commissioner Delanoy.
Here.
Commissioner Anderson.
Here. At this time, if you have any electronic devices that make noise, please put them to silent or turn them off for us. What? Yeah. So at this time, if everyone please rise for the invocation and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. Dear gracious God, we thank you for the many gifts you bestowed upon us all. We ask that you provide comfort and healing to those in need. We ask that you guide and direct our meeting so that it's full of wisdom, productivity, and respect for one another. We ask that you keep our teammates safe as they do their jobs. God, please protect our men and women in the armed forces. And God, please bless this meeting, this city, and our great country. Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen. Okay, so we're going to move to presentations. Chief, you want to come up forward? We have some promotions tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Commission. Tonight we have a couple of promotions that we plan to do within the police department tonight. Starting off with our first promotion with Officer Ibarra. Corporal Ibarra was born and raised here in Florida. He graduated from Stetson University with a bachelor's degree of business on May 5th, 2000, before serving in the United States Marine Corps with several deployments. At the end of his tour, he received an honorable discharge with the rank of sergeant. Corporal Barra then joined the Holly Hill Police Department in April of 23, where he has continued his dedication to the police department since. Corporal Barra's goals are to serve as a shift supervisor when the opportunity presents itself, and to obtain qualified knowledge and training to achieve the official position. He's also working towards joining the SWAT team for the Central Florida area, Central Florida community here on the east side of the county. And presenting the badge tonight would be Lieutenant Weiss. Congratulations, Corporal.
Test.
Our next promotion tonight, Sergeant Andrew Barrett, you come forward, please. Sergeant Barrett has been in law enforcement since 2007. Starting his career with the Florida Highway Patrol, he joined the rank of Holly Hill Police Department in 2015. His roles up to this point has been that of the Criminal Investigations Division, Community Redevelopment Agency Unit, and the Police Drone Unit. He was then promoted to the sergeant in September of 2024, where he has worn multiple hats to include patrol supervisor, traffic supervisor, and currently training supervisor. Lieutenant Barrett's goal is to assist the development of this agency into a well-structured and well-performing law enforcement agency and building a police agency which provides up-to-date and state-of-the-art training. In attendance tonight, he has several friends and family members, but presenting the badge tonight would be his mother, Cheryl Barrett. Which definitely would be quite befitting of mom. That's okay. We forgive you for that. No shame, Lieutenant Weiss.
Oh, Weiss.
No shame. Congratulations, Lieutenant Barrett. You're good. So, Commission, tonight, if I could just say a few words here to these both promotees. Leadership, I want to talk about leadership because that's the role that they're going into. And we know that is a critical area when it comes to leading an agency. You got to have correct leadership in place. We learned that leadership is not about rank, but it's about responsibility. Tonight, both of you, as you step into these new roles, understand that people will look to you not just for direction, but also being an example. Your words will matter, but your actions are going to matter more. How you carry yourself, how you treat others, how you make decisions, those are the things that define your leadership. Trust is the foundation of effective police leadership. That's what we've been taught. Leaders must earn the confidence of their officers and the public by demonstrating fairness, transparency, and consistency. This involves holding everyone accountable, including yourself. Leadership means doing the right thing. It means holding the standard, not lowering it. And it means taking care of your people while never forgetting our mission to the community. Whether rank with humility, lead with purpose, and don't ever forget that leadership is earned every day. Again, I say congratulations to both of you, and I look forward to the great things that you're going to bring to the agency. Thank you.
Thank you.
In my haste, I would like, if it's okay with the commission, that we can do a couple of photos
Yes, sir.
tonight. Thank you. If I can have both promotees up here for a quick second. And if your family want to take photos or right now, they also, right over there. They're more than welcome to do so as well. Sorry, Commission. We can take a couple photos. Okay. Any family members? Mom is there? No, not taking a picture, but actually being a part of it. And is Lieutenant Barrett's family with him? Dad, yeah, Dad, you got to take a picture.
That's the fastest ever.
Yeah, that is the fastest ever.
It is.
Assist? You're not going to get away that easy.
I know.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Commissioner.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Now we'll move to our second presentation of the evening. Our Vice County Chair is here.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, fellow commissioners. I'm here today to not just read a proclamation, but to honor the life and service of Vice Mayor Roy Johnson, a man that had a plethora of knowledge and even more in character that goes beyond measure. So if you excuse all the whereases, I know you guys are used to it, but for the audience's benefit, This was dated back on the 10th. It was read at his funeral by Chairman Brower, but I want to take the opportunity to present one to your chambers as well, if we could. Whereas through exemplary leadership, vision, and an unwavering commitment to public service, Roy Johnson played a pivotal role in shaping Holly Hill's growth, development, and community-focused initiatives. And whereas Mr. Johnson was born in 1939 and raised his family on his family's farm in Virginia, where he learned the enduring values of hard work, loyalty, commitment, and devotion to family. And whereas, after serving his county honorably in the U.S. Air Force for 7 years, he relocated his family in 1968 to beautiful Volusia County, where he founded Aerial Hydraulics, establishing himself as an entrepreneur and community builder. And whereas, Aerial Hydraulics earned distinction as the exclusive hydraulic specialty mechanic for Florida Power and Light's entire fleet of bucket trucks and heavy vehicles. A success that enabled Mr. Johnson to invest generously in fellow entrepreneurs and charities throughout Volusia County. And whereas Mr. Johnson's deep affection for his city and county inspired him to enter public service in 2005 by serving as a Holly Hill Civil Service Board. And whereas, as Holly Hill Mayor from 2010 to 2014, he championed economic development, business growth, and infrastructure development improvement, and continued to serve his community with distinction as Vice Mayor until his passing on March 23rd, 2026. And whereas, throughout his decades of public service, Mr. Johnson demonstrated a steadfast commitment to environmental stewardship and the preservation of Volusia County's precious natural resources. Now, therefore, we, the County Council of Volusia County, Florida, do hereby proclaim April 10th, 2026, as Roy Johnson Day in Volusia County and honor his enduring presence and thoughtful leadership which contributed immeasurably to the progress, character, and stability of Holly Hill, signed by the entire council. So if I could present that to you,
Thank you.
sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's all right, no problem. That's okay.
Thank you, sir. Now we have a proclamation for Fair Housing Month. I see there's several members of our real estate community. I don't know if one of you wants to come up or all of you want to come up. We'll read the proclamation to you all. Just right at the microphone, yes. Come on, Gigi. Last one has to talk. So. All right, so here's a proclamation by the Mayor of the City of Holly Hill, Florida, declaring the month of April Fair Housing Month. Whereas the Fair Housing Act, enacted in April 11th, 1968, enshrined into federal law the goal of eliminating racial segregation and ending housing discrimination in the United States. And whereas the Fair Housing Act prohibits discrimination in housing based on race, color, religion, sex, familial status, national origin, and disability, and commits recipients of the federal funding to affirmatively further fair housing in their communities. And whereas the City of Holly Hill is committed to the mission and intent of Congress to provide fair and equal housing opportunities for all. And whereas our social fabric, the economy, health, and the environment are strengthened in diverse, inclusive communities. And whereas more than 50 years after the passage of the Fair Housing Act, discrimination persists, and many communities remain segregated. And whereas acts of housing discrimination and barriers to equal housing opportunity are repugnant to a common sense of decency and fairness. Now, therefore, I, John Penny, Mayor of the City of Holly Hill, Florida, and on behalf of the City Commission, do hereby proclaim April 2026 as Fair Housing Month. If you'd like to say something from the microphone. Okay. All right, sir. Good to see you.
Congratulations. Yeah, well deserved.
Good to see you.
Yeah, well deserved. Yes, well deserved. Thank you, yeah, well deserved, absolutely. Hard work. Thank you. Thank you, yep, well deserved, thank you.
Okay. And then, okay.
See why not?
Huh? Okay, okay.
Gave it to Joe. You gotta hold it higher, Joe.
3 selfies first.
Yeah, I'll go a couple this way. I don't know how you scrapbook, so. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Good to see you. Thanks. Okay, now we have 3 more presentations. The first will be from Accentria Public Risk. Are we able to access the? I know, it's all brand new. I thought that was a subwoofer when I walked in.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. What it was.
We may have puppet show.
On the wall.
Okay, thank you. Good evening. My name is Robin Riley, and I have
Good evening. My name's Ethan Sale. I'm an employee benefits consultant at Accentria.
Mayor Penny, commissioners, and City Manager, Mr. Forte. We want to thank you for having us here this evening and for the process that the city has gone through. And congratulations on a successful RFP process. Having 3 of the largest firms responding tonight speaks to the strength of your process that you've done. So very good. A lot of competition there. We love it. We all have the qualifications and the expertise that the city needs to serve your employees. Every one of us, when we were in the scoring committee meeting, your scoring committee members advise the same thing. You know, they all of the agencies provide that service and have the expertise. So it's good to see, and we knew it with who was responding. If you want to move to the next page. This is our qualifications again, same, the strength and everything, if you want to go to the next page. This is our carrier partners. And again, one thing, we all have access to the carriers. Not a lot of health insurance carriers in the state of Florida, but we all have access to them. With Florida Healthcare Plans, your current health insurance provider, we work with them to serve their employees with their voluntary benefit program. We've been serving them for quite a long time now, but I think that that's something that shows strength in our agency to be able to serve them. We also place a lot of business with Florida Healthcare Plans throughout Volusia and Flagler counties. So right now I want to talk to you about what really makes the difference, what differentiates us from our competitors that are here. Here, again, we all are going to have the same services provided, and Ethan's going to talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so I do want to mention every name you see up there, whether it be our in-house doctors of pharmacy, our in-house ERISA attorney, or our wellness coordinators, everyone up there is best in class when it comes to employee benefits consultancy. What I do want to note is over our executive support and our executive management, a few of our key team members that really just show our true identity as a broker to public service. I want to highlight Alan Flores, who's our chief sales officer and public entity practice leader. Alan served as the chief of staff under Jeb Bush. I want to highlight Tom Leake, who is a current Florida State Senator, as well as David Lodwick, who is our Director of Public Entity. David served for 17 years as the mayor of Royal Palm Beach. And then, not up there, but just recently, John Daly, the mayor of Tallahassee, has recently joined our team, and we have loved having him on board with us. So, with that being said, if we could go here, we can just spend a second on this page just going over some of our current clients that we do have the privilege of serving, both from the city, county, school district, and special districts. We can move on from there, please, to our responsiveness and scope of technology. So this is such a crucial factor as it pertains to employee benefits, is the management and communication and education that goes into empowering the employees of the city. So every single facet you see up there is done to the best of our ability, whether it be advocacy, communication, Ben admin, data analytics. And with that being said, on the topic of benefits administration, can we please go to the next slide? I want to spend a minute talking on the different enrollment platforms out there. So it's our understanding that PlanSource is currently utilized. I want to say it's the job of the employee benefits broker to bring as many options to the table when it comes to picking a Ben admin system of record. From what we see, an employer of this size of 109 enrolled, right? Employee Navigator can sometimes be a better fit for that. Not to say that that's the exact option, but it's the broker's job to say, hey, let's sit down, let's analyze what's going to best serve both the city from the administrative side, but also what's going to be best for employees going in when they make their decision, what is going to empower our employees best. So with that being said, that is a broker's job. What are the options? Let's educate on both of them and make an educated decision together. If we could please move on to plan design, cost, and provider disruption. Thank you. So I'll start with top left corner, FHCP, the current plan. I can say pretty confidently that all three brokers absolutely have a great relationship with Florida Healthcare Plans and maintain substantial blocks of business with such a great local carrier. One thing I do want to mention, and Robin did mention it earlier, Florida Healthcare Plans does select us as their broker of choice for their ancillary voluntary benefits within their employee benefits program for Florida Healthcare Plans employees. So, with that being said, fantastic relationship. It's our job to create value through the carrier by health plan renewal analysis, negotiation of renewals. But what I really want to look at here, you'll see under pooling programs, we have marked Well Life and Level 360. Those are two proprietary group medical programs to the Essentia Public Risk Team. It does take an alternative funding approach. It allows major transparency and control into the health plan. It allows an employer to see exactly what is going on and actively make changes and control the health plan performance. So I do want to note, those are proprietary to us. Another thing, right, those are options that you can take. However, one of the biggest things with those two programs is it allows us, here, right at the bottom right, deal tension, right? It allows us to bring deal tension as we're negotiating renewals, right? Same conversation as Employee Source and Employee Navigator, right? Our job isn't coming in here and saying, you need to do this, you need to do this. Our job is to educate, empower the city to empower the employees, and furthermore, give the employees the best option when it comes to their group health insurance for them and their families. So when it comes to the RFP process, that is a key factor. Going to all the markets, obviously your UHCs, your Aetnas, doing a full network and PBM analysis. That is all within our scope of services when it comes to evaluating a group medical platform that is going to be advocate for the city's employees. Robin, would you like to step in on the ancillary lines?
Sure. With the dental and vision insurance, the carriers are very competitive. I know that the city has been with a couple of different carriers in the several years, but now things are coming up new plans, new programs with dental, with vision, with life products. So it's always good to go out to the market to see what's being offered out there, because you want to have the best bang for your buck, especially utilizing taxpayer dollars. And that's what we look to, and we have those relationships with the carriers as well. So here we want to talk about our compensation. That was a topic in the scoring committee meeting, and so I just want to talk about that here. We've given three options. As Ethan alluded to, we don't come in, with one plan or one option. We give you options to where that you can choose what best fits your needs for your budget, for the city, for the employees, and for the families. So the Silver Plan is the plan that we use to provide you with the services that you currently receive on the scope of services. It does include Employee Navigator. If you go to the middle tier plan, that plan is what most of our clients prefer and choose. That gives you all of the services, but it also gives you options on your online enrollment system if you want that. It also gives you our concierge service benefits VIP, where you receive 7 members servicing employees and their families on your entire employee benefit program. And those employees servicing at benefits VIP are in-house employees. So it provides you with options. And then I just would like to close with, reiterating our services. We were built with former servant leaders, so we know how to serve you. We have proprietary programs that provide you with full transparency, customize your plans, also receiving claim reporting timely, being a fiduciary of taxpayer dollars on these plans. And then we're here to serve you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Florida Healthcare seems to be pulling out on our local resources right here in Hollywood.
Okay.
Are y'all gonna help us deal with that?
Deal with that?
Yeah,
So
our pharmacy these services is no longer available at Holly Hill
In the lab.
and the lab.
And the lab.
Yeah, I'll take that. I mean, I can speak with confidence that whatever is in that silo of Florida healthcare plans with our relationships, any deal or any negotiation would absolutely take place. But with that being said, right, does the conversation of, hey, do we want to look at a new carrier with new options in this area, right? That would obviously come to the table. But in terms of the silo of Florida healthcare plans, absolutely. That would be, with you saying that and us knowing that, that would absolutely be something that we would advocate for. But like I said, options, that's our job.
Have
Yeah,
they
thank
come
you.
and provided you with that this is gonna be happening and what a solution is?
I
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Got it.
It was like a week's notice, week and a half, something like that.
Yeah, thank you for that question. Yeah, thank you.
Any other questions?
Not
Mayor, I have just one question. I think all three should answer the question, and I don't know if it's right or not, but are you also compensated by the insurance companies that you hire?
So, our services is with a fee, so we would not be receiving any compensation from the carriers.
Just our fee that we pay?
Yep, absolutely. And if by chance, because we had some things that's come up where we've received commission, we're totally transparent. What we do is we put it on the invoice and deduct it from our fee. But those were off the you know, yes.
Thank you, Ms. Forte.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. So the next presentation will come from Gallagher.
Let us know when to begin. All right. Good morning, Mayor and Commissioners. My gosh, guys, last time I was in a place like this was when I was in Boy Scouts, so it's exciting to be back. But with that said, we're going to have a great time today. With that said, we understand that this is going to be an important decision, not just for your employees, but also for your city and the stewards being of public funds and public trust. So in the next 10 minutes, our goal is simple: to show how Gallagher would protect the city of Holly Hill, support your employees, and bring discipline and clarity to your benefits program. So just to start off with an agenda, we're going to be super respectful of all of your times. We're going to actually consolidate from your RFP what we found to be the main priorities. We're going to hone in on that, how Gallagher would bring a governance framework to this, as well as showing everything that it encapsulates, from the governance and risk protection, firefighter and cancer statutory oversight, as well as employee support and approach. All of this will be wrapped up with a quick timeline of what the implementation would look like, and we will be taking questions at the end. Next slide, please. Now, before we hop into all of this, I wanted to give a brief introduction of our team and who you will be speaking with today. In the top left, I am the benefits consultant and will be your day-to-day contact. I like to think of myself more as the quarterback and the one that will be corresponding with coordination, vendor management, issue resolution. I will wake up at midnight to answer your phone calls. I am here, no kids yet, but we are having the time and capacity to do all of that. I will pass the baton to Amy.
Hi, good evening. My name is Amy Leonard. This is a kind of full circle moment for me. I was born at Burt Fish Hospital and I grew up about 2 blocks away at 255 15th Street. So when I told my mom I was coming here tonight, she's like, you let them know. So I am executive sponsor for the team. I'm here to support Ivan and our entire team to make sure they deliver the resources to all of our clients that are necessary. So thanks for this time.
And my name's Jim Perry. I'm the senior financial and actuarial consultant. So I work through the finances, analyze the renewals, to look at the renewal calculations where possible, and then also look at all the different options that are out there from a funding standpoint to try to make your health plan more affordable.
Jim, are you from Ormond?
No,
You're not?
no, I live in East Orlando.
Perfect. Next slide, please.
We're having IT complications.
Oh, no worries.
Amy Mullen was unable to join us this evening, but she'll be part of the team as well from a consulting perspective.
Awesome. Look at that beautiful building. This is a fully insured municipal program where stability matters. Now, the city's not looking for disruption or experimentation yet. You're looking for a partner who's going to keep you consistent, keep you all in compliance, manage your renewals with discipline, as well as ensure employee issues are handled in a clean, professional manner without anything escalating. The understanding of this is what has shaped our entire response today and how we would serve your city moving forward.
So let's be real. A fully insured program is a program that benefits the carrier and not necessarily the city. The benefits are there, obviously, and they provide the benefits. It does provide stability, but the carrier does stand to make the most money off of a fully insured program. A group your size, it would be tough to look at alternative funding arrangements, but by looking at the alternative funding arrangements, we can leverage that to be a little bit more precise in how we negotiate those renewals instead of just making it into a reverse auction where basically the lowest price wins and we have to water down the benefits in order to get to a particular price to fit your budget. So by taking a look at all of the aspects of that, Florida Healthcare Plan's great company, but they're also a very small health plan. So it's a good time for us. This would give us the opportunity to really kind of dive into the nuts and bolts of the program, look at it from an actuarial standpoint, make sure that you guys are meeting the needs of your employees. But then also, when we look at your benefits, and we benchmarked them, and that's in the appendix, there are things about your benefits program that are costing you money that we could take a look at maybe reducing some of those, because from a benchmark standpoint, your benefits are better than most every municipality and definitely any of the private sector employers that are in this area. So from an attracting and retaining talent, your benefit program does not have an issue with that, but there's a cost associated with that. So obviously we have to look at all aspects when we do that. So we look forward to the opportunity to work with you, diving into the financials and really understanding how we can better serve you and your employees.
Would you mind rolling back just a little bit? I get to talk about the orange and blue columns there, pillars of what our service would look like. So from a compliance perspective, we are the second largest broker in the United States. So we have quite the compliance team. We have an incredible amount of ERISA attorneys, employment law attorneys available to support the city as needed from various issues, whether they are federally based or state-based as well. From a benefits coordination standpoint, we believe really that benefits impact the whole person, not just their eyes, not just their teeth, not just their mental health, but the whole person, which would include financial awareness, which would include just day-to-day family life. And so we would work to look at your entire program to make sure everything was covered from A to Z to holistically review that program for your employees and more importantly for their family members, the people that are part of this community. Now you can go to the next slide.
So this was something that comes up, and it doesn't come up with every public sector client that we work with. So we wanted to make a note of it and speak about it here today. Firefighter cancer coverage is unique because it's not just a benefit. It's a statutory obligation to you and under Florida law. So with that said, regardless of the carrier, the responsibility ultimately remains on you, the city. And what we would make a promise to, if you were to choose to partner with Gallagher, is to uphold our role to ensure coverage in place is not only in compliant, but that it is monitored in a timely manner and upheld correctly. We would work with carriers to make sure that the cancer insurance is dealt with before it would arise to your desk, and we would work that with vendor coordination as well as monitoring all legislative changes that might impact your policies. Once the coverage is properly governed on the city level, the next priority becomes your people. And for that, I'll pass it back to Amy.
Absolutely. So we're all in the service industry, right? The teams that have spoke before us are going to speak after us. Like, that's the heart of what we do, is taking care of your employees. The city is making a significant investment in these benefits. Your employees are making an investment in these benefits. Our job is to protect that investment, make sure there's getting a return on that, and making sure that they are taken care of, that the benefits are performing the way that they are supposed to, that things are covered that are covered in the way that they are intended to do so. I think there's another slide if you want, if you're able to roll forward. If not, it's totally fine. But truly, so our team would come alongside your employees and make sure they are supported. Ivan offered his phone at 12 a.m., fantastic. But we also have a team that works normal business hours as well that would be available to assist with any type of claim inquiry that your employees may face, whether it's them as individuals, it's their spouse, it is their children. They are there to help with that. Insurance is complicated. We all know that. Our job is to make sense of it, let your employees focus on their day jobs, let us speak the insurance language that we speak so well. Open enrollment is a clear, important task that everyone has to go through to understand what those benefits are, what is available to them to select each and every year. That's something that our team would work with you to develop a customized experience for everyone, whether it's printed materials, it's digital materials. We work alongside you and create what's best for you all, what you think is going to resonate the most. Finally, a single point of contact. You're going to have the team locally. You're going to also have a team that's going to be available, again, after hours, all the different times available to your individuals on the weekends, whatever they may need through our Benefit Advocacy Center. Again, we believe that this is a critical point because we know this is an expense and something very important to take care of people on a day-to-day basis.
And right here is just kind of talking about putting the money where, the mouth is. And we're not just over-promising and planning on under-delivering. This is a step-by-step process on how us will go nowhere after a BOR or any type of record is signed. We will stick with you through the process, through the renewal, and craft a multi-year strategy to help guarantee ROIs for the city. And that's what it's about, not only providing the best benefits, but for the best rates. We want to get savings back into the public's budget so you guys can use that money in more ways than one. So with that said, again, we thank you all for giving us the time to present here tonight, and we're happy to field any and all questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone have any questions?
I do. I'm just curious, firefighters cancer, just specific to firefighters?
State law. It's a state law.
State
Yeah.
law.
Yeah.
Okay, I know in private industry, when I worked, it was available to everybody. So that's kind
Yeah, the coverage would be available to everyone. There's, like, again, state law requirements of what firefighters have, but there's cancer coverage available to you through your medical plan as well as supplemental ancillary programs as well. Yeah, so yeah. Don't have to be a firefighter to be protected. Don't worry about that.
Absolutely.
Mr. Forte, you asked a question about compensation. So as our predecessor said, certainly, total transparency based upon the fee. If any additional compensation came in, we would disclose it and reduce our fee by that amount.
And
What were the fees?
So the fee came in at $50,000 for the annual, and any commissions would be brought back to you. We were completely transparent, like I'm sure all brokers are here tonight. We also are negotiable in that fact if you are coming back on some type of price. But we know that in this sector, most things are pretty cement. So
Well, Mayor, to keep it fair, the question that Commissioner Snow asked about Florida Healthcare, do you have any idea of how you might be able to assist with that?
Yeah, I mean, certainly carrier relationship is critically important, which we all significantly have with Florida healthcare plans, and it's unfortunate what has happened for you all, the disruptions it's caused. Truly exploring other opportunities, I think, makes sense. Sometimes placing pressure on the incumbent carrier can open doors, open opportunity for other things to happen for you all. So thank you for giving us the opportunity to answer that.
I think it'd also be important to note that Florida Healthcare Plans is a small healthcare plan, and so they're going to be doing what's in their best interest, not necessarily y'all's. So that might be one of the reasons why we would have to take a harder look at other options potentially.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you all very much.
thank you.
And just to follow up, to be fair, as an insurance agent for almost 40 years, the agent is at the pleasure of the company.
Yeah.
Whatever the company says they're gonna do, they're gonna do. So, it's tough, but that's.
I just wanted to keep it fair.
Yeah, thank
All
you.
the same question.
We appreciate it.
Have a good one.
Thank you.
Now we'll move to
Good evening, Council, Mr. Mayor, Mr. City Manager. Thank you for the opportunity for us to address you tonight as part of this bid process. We appreciate being part of it, as we do with our competitors here. I want to thank you for the trust that you've had in us for the last 10 years in order to serve as your broker. My name is Peter Matulis, and I'm the leader of the Brown & Brown office down the street. We have 228 teammates down there that service not only local, but clients across the state and clients across the country. With me is Jessica Scott, who has served as your agent for the last 10 years, and you may know, and Mike Rusin, who's the leader of our benefits team here in Central Florida, as well as the lead service person in your account for at least the last 5 years. Over the course of the next 10 minutes, we're here to demonstrate not only our decade-long performance as your broker, but also our continued commitment to try and take that for another 10 years. My role is to support these two individuals here, as well as the team back on your account that is not able to be here tonight, and the 228 teammates down the road for all of our clients, and to go ahead and continue to deliver for the city of Holly Hill.
Good evening. As Peter said, I'm Jessica Scott. I've had the pleasure of working with the city for the last decade plus. If you want to scroll a couple slides, one more, please. Thank you. So I just wanted to quickly outline what we have done for the city in the last decade. So the desire has been to stay with Florida Healthcare and not have disruption for your employees. That might change this year with some of the changes going on with Florida Healthcare. But to sum it up, over the last decade, we have been able to negotiate under budget renewals. We're at a 1.5% average for that last decade, which represents over $500,000 in savings to the city. So as I said, that's no disruption to your employees. They've been able to stay with Florida Healthcare Network. We've also been able to keep your plan design the same. So we have, over time, consolidated into the HSA plan, which was a strategy that Mr. Forte and us had over time. And, with that strategy, we've also demonstrated some better loss ratios, which has also helped with the negotiations year over year with your plan. And this has also allowed the city to continue to fund the HSA bank account for the employees, which is a huge benefit, that you fund up to $1,900 a year for that. You could change, thank you. So some other accomplishments over the last decade, moving towards that HSA plan, we were able to move your plan year from October to January, which better aligned your deductibles with the calendar year, since Florida Healthcare doesn't quite accommodate a plan year deductible, so it just makes it easier for the employees to understand when their deductibles reset. When we did that, we were able to secure a 15-month contract with Florida Healthcare at no rate increase for you all. And as I mentioned, by implementing this HSA plan design, we have been able to lower loss ratios over time, a reduction in large claims, and also seen significant increases in your clinic utilization, screenings, chronic condition adherence. We've also initiated a wellness program, so a long-term strategy on preventative care, screenings, and chronic disease management. And we've also included, over that period of time, FHC leadership in that program to help support. We've also, with the HSA plan and your other plans, been able to negotiate a $0 copay for clinic services and primary care services. So this is to keep your employees compliant with those services with no cost barrier. And then we did the same on the pharmacy as well. We were able to negotiate $0 to very low copays, even on the HSA for the pharmacy. So to make sure that employees were staying on their chronic care medications. And then also we were able to implement your ACA reporting capabilities, online enrollment, data management technology at no cost to the city. And that's to keep you compliant and also ease of administration. So over this time, we certainly have gone to RFP to look at other options, and that's definitely been of interest for the team that I work with at the city to continue to look at those options and kind of weigh the savings that you could get versus what kind of disruption would we be looking at. So we've looked at everything under the sun, from fully insured, level funded, self-funded plans, consortiums, captives. And also, we've also taken a look at what you do with the HSA funds, because that's a lot of money that comes from the city to fund that $1,900 for those employees, and look at some alternatives to save money there as well. But ultimately, the city has continued with the plan that you have had without making those changes, which again has been a great benefit to the employees over time. So I just wanted to give you some examples because we certainly have experience with moving employers, local employers in the government space from Florida Healthcare. Now, City of Ormond has been similar to City of Holly Hill. I've worked with that group for 17 years, and they have wanted to stay with Florida Healthcare. And similar to you, they have an HSA plan that they heavily fund with the HSA seed as well. So we've had a lot of success with City of Ormond. I've negotiated 5 renewal decreases over that time, and we've averaged about a 2% increase over that 17 years. So we've been able to keep the plan under budget, and because of that, the city's been able to continue to fund the HSA bank accounts and increase those over time as well. We also did an RFP for on-site clinic services for the city, and looked at some of the hospital systems in the area as well as some different clinic options. And ultimately, I was able to get Florida Healthcare to come to the table and offer similar services. We kind of customized services for the city at a tenth of the cost of what these other vendors were offering. So that was about $90,000 in savings. And then just in the last year, well, for 2026, I was able to negotiate a 1% decrease on the medical, and then we did a full ancillary RFP as well, did some bundling of those services, and we were able to get a 2% decrease with enhancements on the ancillary. But some other examples for local governments that we have experience moving to different carriers. City of Flagler Beach is a great example. Last year, the city manager was looking to offer lower dependent rates, but they did not have the budget to fund more into the dependent rates. So we did a full RFP, looked at various options, and ultimately we were able to get their FHC/Florida Blue plan to no increase, but we were able to bring UHC to the table and save 20% to their premiums, which is about $240,000 in savings. And with that, we were able to reduce all of their dependent and family tier premiums anywhere from $400 to $800 a month. So we were able to kind of solve that problem for them. And then we, offered an expanded network with United Healthcare by doing this. And we also made their plans a little richer. So we lowered their out-of-pocket cost on the plan and reduced a lot of copays on the plan with this move. And then, as you probably heard, Volusia School Board had been with Florida Healthcare for decades. And I work with their insurance committee who really wanted to change. They were open to a change, ready to interview some new carriers. And so we landed on Curative, who I've been doing some work with in the last few years. They're new to the state over the last couple years. And so, it was a big move for Volusia County. And we do a lot of work to help with that network, help with the issues that come up. It hasn't been seamless, but they've been a good partner in helping us to solve the issues that come up as they come up, and it's getting better over time. But we were able to bring a better offer to the employees versus where Florida Healthcare ended up. And so that was part of the reason for the move. And it did allow the board to continue a free plan for employees, which was very important to the insurance committee. And the benefit of these plans, over time, the school board had to continue to go up on deductibles and max out of pockets, which was a lot of cost to employees when they had to use the plan. With the Curative plan, there's no cost to use the plan. So that was a huge benefit. So people can have a baby at no cost. Medications, no cost. So there's been a lot of good that has come from that. And, we had to basically find new doctors for about 8,000 people. So we have a lot of experience doing this. And just a couple other examples. Flagler School Board is self-funded, and even self-funded groups are having their challenges with increases. So they're facing a 22% increase. And so we've been able to get creative and move them off a traditional network plan. And so we've done a network replacement plan for them, which is going to save significant dollars, about $700,000 projected. And with this, we're able to offer them a better plan design, lower deductibles, lower copays on the plan, and we are doing direct negotiations with the hospital system. So currently we're in talks with Advent Flagler Hospital to do a direct negotiation, which will ultimately lower claims cost. And then similar to that, City of St. Cloud is another one where we're doing a network replacement. We can save significant dollars by doing this, and we're in negotiations with Orlando Health for them with a direct contract. So trying to get out of the box of just staying with a single carrier and doing these direct negotiations can certainly bring a lot of cost savings, and with that, we can bring better plan designs to the table as well. Okay, now I'll turn it over to Mike Rusin.
Good evening. Good evening. I get the privilege of introducing the team. So if we could actually go 2 slides, one more. Go one more slide. So this is the dedicated team that has and will continue to work on the city's behalf. So the 3 of us are in the room, but also Renewal Solutions. So as we talk about RFP, as we talk about carrier relationships, we have dedicated support that works and facilitates and puts those packages together. There's been a lot of talk tonight about self-funded feasibility and alternative funding. Our data analytics teams, led by Devin Williams, who can help facilitate not only the data reporting component, but also data projections and the consulting that's required. Because when we give you a package, it's not enough to just hand you a data reporting package. We have to have the chops to be able to consult on that and explain what that data means. Okay, employee engagement. Over the past several years, we've had the opportunity to participate in wellness fairs over at Pictona. We've had the opportunity to come in here, me personally, and sit in this room and talk to firefighters, talk to police officers, go to the fire station and consult and talk to the actual members about what's important to them. Spent a lot of time at the water company over the last few years. And then lastly, population health and well-being, right? So we have the resources available to evaluate any limited claims data that we get. Currently under your fully insured program through FHCP, through conversations that we have with you all, understanding the plan, is what are the point solutions that are available for the city in order to help navigate those rising costs. Okay, next slide, please. The team that I just talked about is our local team, right? Just down the road in Daytona Beach. But we're also anchored by national resources and reinforced by them. So we have a national pharmacy team. We have a national stop-loss coalition that puts together comprehensive packages at preferred contracted rates. We have compliance, regulatory, and legislative teammates. Again, population health and well-being is huge in the industry at this point. Absence management, so as we navigate family leave laws, FMLA, all of that stuff, our absence management team we can tap into and help. And then technology, I want to spend a second on this, and we'll talk about national resources in a second. But as it relates to technology, the current platform for the city of Holly Hill is PlanSource. Okay, but we have a national technology team, also part of the benefit engagement solution team, that has negotiated and vetted all of the benefits platforms that are available. And we too have national relationships with PlanSource. We have national relationships with certain payroll vendors, Employee Navigator, bswift. So we too are benefits administration agnostic and can work with the city to explore any options. If PlanSource is not working, we're happy to explore alternative options for you. Okay, next slide. Thank you. And then these are just some of our national teams and resources, right? So we talked about population health and well-being. We talked about data analytics, benefit engagement solutions. As you can see, again, platforms, HR Ally, which is our internal proprietary system, through our partner, Winston Benefits. And then our Innovation Hub. So I talked a little bit about population health, but our Innovation Hub team actually vets point solutions across the industry so that we're ready to work with you all to put that in place, right? All the heavy lifting has been done. And again, we just have all of the resources available for you, okay? And I think the next slide is just touching on compensation. So we will continue to honor the flat $35,000 annual fee. This is all inclusive. There's no additional fees to the city. That includes technology expenses. And Mr. Forte, to your question, any additional compensation is returned to the city.
Want to ask them the same question, Commissioner?
Happy to answer. Yes, so I've had a lot of conversations with Florida Healthcare about some of these changes. And so some of the solutions that they're bringing to the table is that we came up with this week, that they will come out and do basically steerage services. So where employees have been disrupted by a closing or a doctor retiring, whatever it is, they'll come out and work individually with employees to help steer them to other providers and kind of give them that information to help them along. So we can certainly do things like that. There's probably going to be more coming down the pipeline in my conversations with them. So I have asked that they give us a heads up. So, give a little more time to be able to let our clients know, if there's going to be more disruption with their network. I don't expect a huge amount, but, GuideWell, their parent company is just looking at everything. And so that's why some of these closures have happened. So we're just trying to stay close to it. And our team, along with Florida Healthcare team, can certainly come out and help through the process to find new doctors, pharmacies, whatever it needs.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Does anyone have any comments on the three presentations you've seen this evening? No. I said earlier.
Are you on?
Dead Valley. Oh, can you hear me now? Hope you can hear me back.
No, you,
It went on and just went off.
Your microphone, green light, this light.
he's got something different on his screen.
you gotta give it, if it hasn't been turned on for a little bit, it takes
Henningsen and Jeff's are the only ones that are lit up, so
Yeah, mine's on.
Yours isn't on either, Deb. There you go. Oh, it came right on.
Did it come right on?
John has
Yeah, mine's on.
Can you hear me? Hopefully. So, I said earlier, I've been an insurance agent for 40 years. And like each applicant, each presenter here tonight said, there's nothing special about any of them. They're all special in their own ways. But we have three great options. We can't go wrong. And it's very impressive that we have three national companies to come to bid on something that's going to pay no more than $50,000. If this was a public works, something with our lift station, we might not get anyone to bid on a job so small. Quite frankly, I could be the broker on this account if I wanted to apply. There's a huge conflict of interest, and I wouldn't do it. But in my field as an insurance agent, I find it tough. It's tough to switch bankers. It's tough to switch attorneys. It's tough to switch your CPA. And it's tough to switch your insurance agent unless they screw something up, because there's nothing that any of these brokers, it's nothing exclusive to them. We talked about what's happening with Florida Healthcare. If we have a hurricane this year, I'm sure there'll be 4 or 5 property and casualty companies that won't write insurance next year. And none of the agencies are going to like that, but we can't do anything about it. That doesn't have anything to do with healthcare, but we are experiencing issues with our healthcare system. So I won't be voting on this issue. I don't have a conflict of interest.
Your mic just went back out.
I have a perceived conflict of interest. So I won't be voting on this. But this is a very political decision that you guys are going to make tonight. And most of us know people that work at all of these companies. Our kids might play baseball together. You might see them at Publix. 2 of the companies are here in Volusia County, so we know them. And so I think that's why it's important that we have a scoring committee. It takes the political decision out of it. It's 1, 2, 3. And so, I think it's, my recommendation to the people that are gonna vote on this is, when we have questions with rules in the city, Joe often refers back to the charter or to the ordinance. So it's not a political decision, so, that's all I'm gonna say. I'm just glad that we got 3 companies of this size to come to Little Holyoke to make $35,000 to $50,000, because often it's a small little chunk. And like I said, if we were trying to get a part for our lift station, we probably would have to go to Boise, Idaho, and pay $150,000 to get someone to come here for such a small thing. So, anyone else have any comments on the presentations? Yes, ma'am.
I want to thank all 3 groups. You did very good with your presentations. I have been on the commission for basically the majority of the time that we've had Brown & Brown. And they've been a good partner for us for negotiating what we've needed out of our health care and our other services. We've had 0 problems with them. I'm not one that believes in recreating the wheel if we don't have a broken, I can't think of the name of the thing, but anyway, I feel as though they're maintaining their fee of $35,000. They've been a great partner in getting us savings. So, are you looking for a motion?
No, we can't vote on it. This is that.
Oh, this is just presentation, never mind. Okay, that's all I have to say.
Anyone else have any comments?
We are not voting on this tonight, correct?
We are, but later.
Not now.
Okay, I have not seen the staff recommendation. Did I miss that?
You missed it. It was in the
It
packet.
was in,
It's in the packet.
There was a ranking of 1, 2, and 3.
Okay,
Brown & Brown was 1, Cynthia was
I will
2,
find
and
out.
Gallagher was 3.
okay.
Got anything, Mr. Delanoy?
I say,
Apparently
if it's
they
not
don't
broke, you
want
don't fix it.
his isn't staying on.
Someone's shutting me up. So. All right. Any other questions or comments?
Mm-mm.
Okay, we're gonna close our presentation time, and we're gonna open up the floor to public comments. This is the audience's time to discuss anything that is not on our regular agenda this evening. Yes, sir.
I'll speak.
You need to come to the microphone and give us your name and the city that you live in, sir. We know, but you have to say it.
You got it?
All right, sir.
Mike Serbo, 719 North Flamingo Drive. As you all know, that I'm running for city commissioner candidate, District Number 2. I'm very disturbed on the inappropriate behavior that I'm seeing by some of the city staff, city commissioners, current, prior mayor, and commission candidates. While there is no time to discuss this because I'm short-limited, I would like this to be submitted to the minutes of this meeting. At this time, I choose not to file a formal complaint. I did speak with the Board of Ethics and Mr. Joe Forte, and I am better than that. I am not going to be drawn into this. Okay? So now you're probably asking what all this is about. On February 24th, I received an email. Good morning. Please be aware that there is no distributing campaign of candidate materials during the public meetings held at City Hall will not be permitted. These meetings are conducted for official city business only. It has been long established protocol from the city of Holly Hill, from the city clerk. Okay? So then, on that note, as I speak to people, residents, about the issues, what goes on in the city, I get consents for signs, okay? They give me permission to put signs on their property. It's either by the property owner or by the resident. I give the sign to the resident or property owner that is supporting me, which now becomes personal property on private property. There is no signs randomly being put on any real estate through the city of Holly Hill. I go, I meet with a lot of people, okay? I'm better than this. We all are better than this. I want to move the city forward. That's all I have to say. I have paperwork for you.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else in the audience like to address the commission? Yes, ma'am.
Hello, my name is Marcy Freeman. I've been a homeowner since 1992 in Holly Hill, so I've seen a lot of things and experienced a lot throughout the years. I'm coming to you today to make the city aware of a business that I call a blight to the neighborhood. There's some issues regarding it, and I'd like to make you aware and hopefully...
Oh, sorry, that was his time, sorry.
Hopefully, hopefully get code enforcement involved in this issue. This is regarding business Moya's / Frank's Salvage Auto Parts on Center Avenue. I live directly adjacent to that property and have seen it go downhill. I want to make aware of the conditions of the property, and it's deplorable. I don't have the time to go into specifics, but I did write up an outline of the specific issues with the condition of the property. I'd also like to bring up a matter of safety and health concerns to residents adjacent to the property and to neighborhood community at large. Again, I'm limited at time, so I can't bring up the specifics, but I do have it on the outline. It has just become a hazard. In general, it's deplorable to look at. It's bringing down the property values of the neighborhood. And I think the city needs to take action with code enforcement, bring the property up to code, and just benefit the community in general with the safety concerns. So that's it, and at this time, I'd like to submit my outline.
Give that to Val, and we'll give it to Joe and get it to...
Certainly. Also, I do want to say that I represent the Take Back the Hill initiative.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else like to address the commission? Yes, ma'am.
My name's Kimberly Dibble. I live on Lakewood Drive. I came here to talk about something else today, actually regarding the feral cat population. But after hearing Mike talk about this stuff tonight, I'm a little concerned. And I've seen some of what's going on social media. I've seen some of the postings that have been out there by the commissioners and stuff. And for me, I've lived here, I guess, 12 or 14 years. I can't even remember. It's been so long at this point. Some of you know me, some of you don't. But what I will say is there's so many issues we need to address in the city that we can do things to make things better. And I think that needs to be the focus. And I have had an interaction with Carmen, but that's between her and I, that I wasn't overly impressed. That's why I did find out, because I want to know who my candidates are. But I am disheartened at some of the comments and some of what I'm seeing out there from the city commissioner. And I think you guys can do better. I want you guys to do better. Because we need to do better for our citizens. And as Joe knows and Penny knows, I have people stop at my house all the time about all kinds of issues that go on. There's so many things we need to correct. And I think that should be the focus of our city commission and our staff. Okay? That was it.
Thank you. Anyone else like to address the commission? Seeing none, we'll close audience participation. And I'm not quite certain what matters were brought to the, I didn't understand. Everything was very vague, so You won't see me on social media. I don't do it, and so,
There's campaigns.
I'll-
ma'am, you can't outburst.
I'll address mine during my comments, Mayor.
So,
I don't know what.
I'm not sure what the question was. I thought it was more of a statement than
Yeah,
a question.
I think they were.
I don't,
So, I don't know that, I think we are taking care of the Moyes, hopefully for you. We'll get on that. Otherwise, I just heard a lot of statements rather than questions, so. But I believe we are better together. I focus on positivity. That was my campaign promise, and I believe we can always do a better job of whatever we're trying to do. Would anyone else like to comment on public comments?
I'll do mine during my comments. Thank you.
I wish I would have, the statement would have been more clear what was posted.
Well, they can't talk back to us from the
I
audience,
know,
JD.
I wish that would have been brought, if you're gonna come up and make a statement, make it clear what was posted. In some reference, I mean, I don't know what was posted. I don't have any idea. I don't know if it was good or bad or who posted it. I know I didn't post anything. I mean, I don't have a hard feeling about anybody that's running. Am I on? Oh, mine's on.
Mine, I haven't had a problem with
His
mine.
won't stay on.
Keep turning, it goes through this cycle, it resets, it turns green. and
Deb
goes
doesn't
off.
want hers on.
So, I'm gonna go ahead and close public comments, commission comments.
I'm good.
And we'll move to item 4, which is approval of the minutes from the April 14th, 2026 workshop.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion needed? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries unanimously. Now we'll approve the minutes of the April 14th, 2026 regular city commission meeting.
Motion to approve those minutes.
Second.
You got a second there, Val? Oh, I'm working.
Hey.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. It went up.
Aye.
Aye.
Just speak up.
Any opposed? Carries unanimously. Now we'll move to the consent agenda, which is usually several things, but there's only one thing on the consent agenda tonight, which is 2026-R-21, which is surplus vehicles and equipment.
Yes.
Is there anyone in the audience that'd like to discuss this matter? Seeing none, we'll close audience participation and entertain a motion for approval.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Second.
Any discussion?
No.
Is this what we worked on tonight?
No, this is disposal of surplus.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, I know what that is then. Yep.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries unanimously. Now move to item 6, which is our regular agenda, which is 2026-R-22, amending the adopted budget fiscal year 25-26, mid-year.
Resolution 2026-R-22 by title only for first and only reading. A resolution of the City of Holly Hill, Florida, amending the fiscal year 2025-2026 annual operating budget, providing for adjustments to revenues and expenditures, appropriating prior year carryover and budget reserves, setting forth revenues and expenditures, providing for severability, providing for an effective date.
Anything to add, Scott? Joe?
No, you have the spreadsheet in your agenda item that Michelle put together where we were moving some items. Primarily, these are CRA items.
I just need some candy, my blood sugar.
But if you have any questions, Michelle can step up. Then Michelle can step
What are you
up
looking
and
for?
answer those for you.
I probably ate them all already.
Any questions from staff?
Want mints?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, there are general fund changes in here as well, just so you're aware.
Seeing no questions, we'll open it up. Public discussion. Anyone from the audience like to comment on this? Seeing no, we'll close audience participation, entertain a motion for approval.
Motion to approve 2026-R-22.
Second.
Any discussion needed amongst the commission?
No.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries unanimously. Now we'll move to 2026-R-23 custodial services.
Resolution number 2026-R-23 by title only for first and only reading. A resolution of the City of Holly Hill, Florida, awarding the contract for custodial services to Caribbean Facilities Management in the amount of $73,200 per year for a 2-year term with 2-year optional 1-year renewals at the discretion of the city manager, authorizing the city manager to execute contract and related documents, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date.
So, Mayor, as you know, we've had 3 custodians working in the city, and recently Casey retired, and I used that opportunity to outsource some of the custodial services. I just felt that I think we might get a better level of service by outsourcing and allowing the other 2 custodians to focus on other areas. So this contract would have a third party come in, and they would do the custodial services at City Hall, the Police Department, Sika Hall, the Clubhouse, and the Public Works Department. So that would free up a lot of time of the other 2 gentlemen that do the custodial work elsewhere in the city. The cost of this is within a couple of dollars of what the salary of the one employee was making. So this is for at least a 2-year contract, so we'll already save money because we won't be giving a pay increase to them. And then I think we're going to get a pretty good level of service out of this company. I think they'll be paying more attention to detail of keeping the facilities clean, unlike what we've been getting out of the custodial staff. So I'm kind of happy and glad we're moving forward in this direction.
Any questions for Joe?
Nope.
No.
Anyone from the audience like to discuss this issue? Yes, ma'am. You need to come, ma'am, you need to come forward and speak on the mic.
Was an RFP
You need
issued?
to come and speak on the mic.
Kimberly Dibble, Lakewood Drive.
Thank you.
Was an RFP issued to allow other companies the opportunity to get the lowest bid?
Yes, of course.
And a company was chosen based on what?
There was a criteria. It wasn't based solely on the lowest bid. It was based on several items within the evaluation, and there was a committee of, I think, 3 people. I was 4 people. I was one of the members of that committee, and then everybody graded that individually, came up with a ranking, and then that's how they selected it.
So RFPs were already issued for this before. You're just looking for a budget approval at this point?
I'm looking to award the contract.
Okay. Okay, that was my question.
Yep.
Thank you. Anyone else from the audience have any questions? Seeing none, we'll close audience participation, entertain a motion for approval.
Motion for approval 2026 R23.
Second.
Any discussion needed amongst the commission?
No.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? There's unanimous. At this time, I will turn the floor over to the Vice Mayor. Terry?
Thank you, sir. Next up
Mayor, you
is
just need
20.
to actually disclose the basis of the
Oh.
conflict when you first, and then turn it over.
My brother works for Brown & Brown, and although there is no financial impact to him directly, it's a perceived impact, so I will not be voting on this issue. And I'll follow the form with the bow by tomorrow.
Okay.
Now we'll move on to item 2026 R24, broker service, medical, dental, vision, firefighter, cancer, and life insurance. Do you have anything you want to say?
Can you repeat what you said?
We are moving to item 3. 2026 R24, broker service, medical, dental, vision, firefighter, cancer, and life insurance.
Do we need an approval for that, or?
Well, we're gonna have a little bit of a discussion first. Hold on just 1 second.
Mentioning it.
This delay is not mine.
You gotta pull up the resolution.
The resolution is actually blank, so I think staff, be appropriate for staff to come up to give the recommendation, their analysis for y'all's consideration, and then for y'all to make a decision. That name will then be inserted into the resolution, and then I can read the title and you can approve the resolution.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So you've heard presentations. Is this working?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
on.
You've heard presentations from the three companies, and as the mayor mentioned earlier, all three companies are qualified. All three companies can do this. We have experience with one company over the years. A committee did evaluate them. All three of these companies, like I said, are qualified. They are in an order because that's what the committee had graded them on, and that was their personal opinions based on the submissions that were sent. So really, it comes up to you as to how you want to, or who you want to award this contract to. It's not complicated. It's not a big dollar agreement. But this year, whoever is selected, I'm going to need to work with to really dive into the possibility of not moving forward with our current health benefits provider and looking at other opportunities because of what I see as some uncertainty, at least in this area. So it's really for you to discuss amongst yourselves as to what you think the merits of awarding this contract are. And if you have any questions for any of the vendors, they can certainly come up and respond to those questions. If you have any questions for staff, we can try to answer those as well.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions, comments, discussion?
No, not really. I mean,
No.
everything was pretty clear.
No, it's pretty clear.
All right. Is there anybody from the audience that would like to discuss this matter before the commission? Seeing none, I close public participation, and I will accept a vote or a motion for one of the three companies.
I will make a motion to pick Brown and Brown.
Brown and
as
Brown,
the
I have a
final.
first
I will second that.
and a second. So we have a first and a second for Brown and Brown. Again, I appreciate all three companies and your presentations. You all three are very qualified. It just comes down to, we have a long-standing relationship, and we have not had any issues. So all those in favor, please signify by saying, oh, I'm sorry. See, I tried to give you
Oh, so you're
earlier.
voting, you're right. You're right.
You
Go ahead
got to
and
vote
vote
to
that.
put it in, and then we'll do the resolution.
Okay. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Passes 3-0. Now,
Okay, I'll go ahead and read the resolution. It says, Resolution 2026-R-24 by title only for first and only reading. A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Holly Hill, Florida, awarding a contract for broker services for medical, dental, vision, firefighter, cancer, and life insurance to selected vendor, authorizing the city manager to negotiate and execute an agreement, providing for implementing administrative actions, providing for severability, providing for an effective date, and based on the previous vote, in Section 1, the name of Brown and Brown will be inserted into the resolution.
okay, thank you. And Mr. Mayor, I pass it back to you.
Nope, you can go ahead and vote on it. You gotta vote on that resolution.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I thought I was out of it easily. Does anybody have a motion on that resolution?
Yes, a motion to approve.
Second.
And I have a first and a second. Do I need to do public comment again? No? Okay. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Passes 3-0. Mr. Mayor, I now hand it back over to you.
Hey, I turned my mic, I think the battery's dead. Val.
Okay, we'll fix it tomorrow.
Looking for Pete Zahn. We'll entertain ordinance 3097, Zahn Engineer.
I'm pulling it up to read the title. Takes me a while to get from one agenda item to the other sometimes. Especially when the agenda item's big. Takes a while to download it. Okay, ordinance number 3097 by title only for first reading. An ordinance of the City of Holly Hill, Florida, amending the land development regulations by amending the official zoning map to designate the property described in Exhibit A from CC1 Commercial Corridor District to business plan unit development, RPUD, or BPUD, providing for conflicting ordinances, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date.
Good evening, Mayor, Commission, staff. My name is Josh Steele. I'm Senior Planner. The item before you is the Zon Engineering BPUD rezone request. This is a request to rezone the property at the northwest corner of Ridgewood Avenue in Flomich, also known as 1600 Ridgewood Avenue, from CC1 to BPUD, which is a business plan unit development. The property is currently zoned CC1 and has a future land use designation of general retail commercial. It's located within the city's redevelopment district overlay and currently consists of a vacant former bank site with an existing drive-through teller structure. The site is located along Ridgewood, which is, our highest visibility commercial corridor. The applicant is here today. They're requesting that the BPUD zoning designation in order to develop the site with a mix of uses, including a professional services office, warehouse space, heavy equipment storage, and material staging area. While professional services and some light industrial uses are permitted within the existing zoning, warehousing requires a special exception, and heavier industrial type activities are not currently permitted within the CC1. The PUD is being proposed to allow these uses with specific limitations and controls. These limitations are outlined in the development agreement and preliminary plan and are intended to ensure compatibility with surrounding properties, particularly the residential uses located to the west of the property. As part of the development, the existing building facade will be upgraded and the structure will be used for engineering offices. The drive-through canopy that currently sits there is proposed to be removed, and a warehouse building will be constructed as part of the second phase. Any heavy equipment on site will be restricted to a designated area and screened by an 8-foot vinyl fence. Access to the site will be provided from Ridgewood Avenue, Flomich, and Espanola Avenue. However, heavy equipment and semi-truck traffic will be limited to Ridgewood and Flomich only and will not be permitted to be used on Espanola, which is primarily a residential street. Additionally, one of the existing driveway connections is going to be removed. The storage yard hours are proposed to be Monday through Saturday, 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. The BPUD will allow uses permitted within the CC1 zoning district with certain exceptions, and what we have asked to be removed are car wash facilities, motor vehicle and marine sales and repair, self-service laundromats, and paint and body shops. From a site analysis perspective, the property is not located within a floodplain, contains no wetlands or any other kind of inhibitions, and that's all based on preliminary review, and is served by existing city utilities. The landscaping will be provided along all frontages with a 10-foot vegetative buffer adjacent to the residential properties to the west, and the development will also maintain a minimum of a 16% open space requirement. Staff has reviewed the request for consistency within the Land Development Code and the Comprehensive Plan, including the criteria outlined in Section 82.372. The proposed development meets the applicable floor area ratio requirements and is consistent with the general commercial future land use designation. The site is currently vacant, and redevelopment is expected to have a positive economic impact. The project is not anticipated to negatively affect public services, environmental resources, or public health and safety. Overall, staff finds the requested BPUD zoning designation to be compatible with surrounding uses and consistent with the city's regulations and comprehensive plan. And as a note, the Board of Planning and Appeals did forward recommendation for approval. Based on this analysis, staff also recommends that the City Commission adopt the ordinance, approving the rezone from CC1 to BPUD, and approve the associated development agreement and preliminary plan. So, if you guys have any questions for me.
Any questions for staff?
No.
Only question I had, I know there was a discussion about the ATM. What ended up happening with the ATM?
I did talk to the applicant today, and the ATM is no longer going to be placed in front of the building.
You haven't talked to Wells Fargo about putting one somewhere else around here?
The applicant may be able to answer that question if there was some other kind of agreement they had, but I haven't had any indication.
They're not Wells Fargo, are they?
No.
They wouldn't know.
Okay, that's all I had.
Okay.
Is the ATM machine still listed as a permitted use? in the
It
development?
would still be under the same, under the agreement, it would still be
So
permitted
it's still permitted
yeah.
use, but they're just not
Yeah,
proposing to.
they're just not having one there.
Okay.
I think that was holding up the sales contract. That's all I got.
What, having an ATM there?
From what I understand, the applicants here, correct me if I'm wrong, the bank wanted to leave the ATM there because it's a revenue stream for them, and the applicant, it was kind of in the applicant's way.
Got you.
Anything different?
Is the applicant gonna speak?
If you'd like to ask them a question.
Yeah, I would like to ask him a few questions.
Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners. Thanks for having us. John Zemball, 150 South Palmetto Avenue, Daytona Beach, Florida. This is my partner, Mike, here representing the developer, and we are the developer. So I'm available. I'll answer any questions. I can give you a short
First of
spiel
all, I
if you'd like.
appreciate you putting in an application to move in there. It's great to always see new company and new corporations moving in. I just have an issue with this because we do have residential that's really close there. I know we have commercial on both sides, all around you. I mean, you got a church, you got, pest control used to be there, Dollar Tree, pawn shop. You're on a commercial corner anyway, as far as that goes. I just have an issue with, what kind of equipment do you normally have, in existence?
Well, if all goes as planned, we won't have any equipment there, but that's not a good business model, to count on always having it on a job site. But we've got a few excavators, we've got a small dump truck, and for the most part, box trailers and company trucks.
So what is it exactly that y'all are doing here?
Well, there's gonna be 3 companies. We're developing it to serve Zahn Engineering, been in business for 40 years. I wish Pete Zahn could have been here, but he had better stuff to do. He is in Italy.
Oh, okay. He's collecting wine.
So, yeah. So Zahn Engineering is gonna be the primary inhabitant of the building, as well as East Coast Marine Construction. Like I said, Zahn Engineering's been in business in Volusia County for 40 years, East Coast Marine since 2018. We're doing some really cool, noteworthy projects right now. We're building the seawall around City Island, and we're redeveloping the Port Orange boat ramp underneath the Dunlawton Bridge.
Most of your equipment's on the job.
That's the plan. That is 100% the plan, and that makes the most business sense. And without that equipment, I believe we fit a light industrial use, but it's not a good business model for us to buy a place where if we can't keep it on site, bring it home.
I just wanted to bring you up here and make it clear about who you were.
Yeah, okay.
That's basically what it is, because really when you say this and you have citizens sitting around and they're thinking, wow, they're gonna move in a big construction company right on the corner of my neighborhood here, and it's gonna be full of all kinds of supplies stacked up in the back.
Not the intent whatsoever.
Of who you guys are.
I appreciate it, yeah. And thanks for welcoming us, and I'd like to thank staff for their report and patience. It's been a long time coming. Wells Fargo is not easy to work with, but we're nearing the finish line. And you were correct about the ATM. They have a radius that they have to have an ATM in, so I'm sure they're going to put one back. They've actually pulled the one from over there now, so that's how we. It was actually, the ATM was operational. They wanted to keep it, but it just didn't. We tried to accommodate them, so. They didn't want to bend at all, nothing. And it was like, you volley a request off to them, and it's like 4 to 6 weeks before you get a response. So we couldn't even have a decent negotiation to make it work, so.
John, I can't see what's over my head. I know there were some pictures. You had a picture at one time that showed the 8-foot fence with the the only thing you could see is the top of the
Next one.
excavator.
Next one. There it is.
So this is, what, Flemish?
That is the corner of Flemish and Espanola, yeah. Actually, that's standing in our parking lot, but that's the direction, is the corner of Espanola and,
And I believe that's the scale too.
Yeah, that's the biggest piece of equipment we own.
And as you said, if it's there, you're not making money.
We're not doing our job 100%, so.
The intent is to keep it off somewhere in the project, making money.
Absolutely.
Any other questions for the applicant?
No.
All right. Thanks,
Appreciate
guys.
it.
Yes.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
I know.
All right, so we've had our, anyone from the audience like to discuss this?
Kimberly Dibble, Lakewood Drive. One of the things that I hear residents talk about all the time, and I guess having a background in real estate appraisals, things like that, beyond finance and management, our Route 1 corridor and the area through Nova Road, those are really our business areas. My goodness, when you guys have your Christmas parade, there's not even a decent restaurant that you could take our guests to in this area, okay? Why are we not doing more smart development and having our commercial areas doing stuff to build up instead of moving it into industrial on our commercial areas? Those are our two main commercial drags. We should be highlighting them for different types of businesses and things like that rather than dragging them down to industrial. And that's what I hear residents say all the time, more smart development. I don't understand. I'm trying to understand. That was a question. I don't understand.
We typically don't get into a discussion at this point. We listen to all audience participation, and then we'll comment at the end.
And we don't want to take up your time.
I'm sure. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else from the audience like to discuss this matter? Seeing none, we'll close audience participation. Ms. Dibble, we've been trying to do what you're talking about for as long as I've been involved in city politics. The lady in the back of the room, that's her full-time job. We have grants available to recruit businesses. Unfortunately, US 1 in the 50s and 60s was a thriving thoroughfare. And in my opinion, the interstate and the turnpike killed it because people don't go down US 1. The DOT came through 30 years ago and took the parking off of US 1 and killed many of our businesses. But Holly Hill is not unique to that. You can go all the way up to Bunnell and drive all the way to Oak Hill and see that US 1 used to look a lot nicer than it did. But what you will also see if you look on Google Earth over the last 20 years, our US 1 is getting better. We are landlocked. We are smart development. We aren't development. We are redevelopment. We are using old infrastructure and repurposing it to a higher and better use. So that's what I would have to say about that. Anyone else want to comment?
Not at this time.
I would like a motion.
I will make a motion that we approve ordinance 3097 on the first reading.
Any discussion needed?
I have a little discussion now.
Okay.
I would just like to say that since I've been on the commission, my 14th year, and my final year, I have seen this city work towards redeveloping and rebranding our city for about the last at least 10 years. We get reports from our staff that's in charge of that, where they reach out to many people. You wouldn't believe the people that they reach out to, the businesses, not individuals, that we would all like to see come here, but unfortunately, a deal can't be worked out. I can't do a thing about somebody that buys a piece of property in this city and wants to develop it into something other than a restaurant. I can't do a thing about that. I don't have any control over a property owner other than to make sure they confine within our regulations. That's the only control I have. I'm happy you guys have come to take take that building over. If people just looked at the pictures, you're making a great improvement on it, plus a solid business there. It's not a business model that they're trying, it's been proven 40 years. So I'm very happy that you chose Holly Hill, and you're changing that building on the corner that's looked the same for many years now.
Any other comments or discussion?
1961, I think that building was built, it hasn't changed.
Let's have a motion and a second on the floor. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? It carries unanimously. Now we'll move to public hearings. Second reading of ordinance 3098, recovery residence.
Ordinance number 3098 by title only for second and final reading. An ordinance of the City of Holly Hill, Florida, amending the Land Development Regulations, Chapter 82, replacing in its entirety Section 82-322, establishing a process for the review and approval of requests for accommodation from the city's rules, policy, and practices to allow a handicapped person or persons to have equal opportunity to use and enjoy a dwelling, and for the approval of certified recovery residents pursuant to Florida Statute Section 397.487, providing for conflicts, providing for codification, providing for severability, and providing an effective date.
Brian?
Commission, for first reading, you heard that Section 397-487 of Florida statutes requires procedures for the review and approval of certified recovery residences. That is what this ordinance does. This ordinance also incorporates current requirements for looking at providing evaluations of requests for accommodation pursuant to the Fair Housing Act. So it's taking current regulations and folding them into this ordinance, but it's also adding a specific process for the review and approval of recovery residences. There have been no changes since first reading, and staff continues to recommend approval of the ordinance.
Thank you. Any questions for staff? Thanks, Brian. Okay. Anyone from the audience like to discuss this issue? Seeing none, we'll close the audience participation and entertain a motion for approval.
For approval.
Any discussion needed amongst commission? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It carries unanimously. Now we'll move on to communications from city manager. Scott?
Nothing.
Val? All right, so I did the invocation, so I get to go first. I got nothing. I got nothing. We'll start with Commissioner Snow.
Okay, warming up, I think. I went to my first TPO meeting, the Transportation Planning Organization. Bittersweet, because I took Commissioner Johnson's place. I'm thrilled to be doing it. He had taken me along many times, and I think trained me for this position. What's going on right now is approval for the next list of projects that we started, and we should have that by the end of May. So at the end of May, when I go to the meeting, I'll be able to bring back that information about what's going on in the county. It's not necessarily specific to Holly Hill, but any transportation development in the county affects us all. So I'll be glad to bring that information. And that'll do me.
Commissioner Curry.
Thank you. I'll probably take up a couple of people's time up here. I just have one suggestion. Can we please look at if we can adjust the timeout for the battery? Have Scott look at it?
Well, since the batteries are underneath, so what it is, they've been running since throughout the week.
Okay.
So what we'll do is just the morning of your meetings, we'll just.
I just don't want to have to constantly wait on this thing to power up. Of course, I'm probably the loudest one up here.
We can do that, but we'll find out.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's still learning.
Yeah, both yours are dead right now.
Thank you. Well, like I said, I'm probably the loudest one up here, so.
Gotcha.
So that was my first thing. My second thing is, I am not sure why I'm getting such glaring eyes tonight. I have said nothing negative about any candidate. It is known that I support Carmen Ruiz, and I'm allowed to say that during my time. I have endorsed her. She's got literature where I endorsed her. I'm willfully saying that now. There is no ethics violation to any of that. I don't know if the ethics violation was geared towards me. If you have an ethics violation, please file. I would love to go to Tallahassee to argue whatever the point. I have done nothing unethical in 14 years. I had a very ethical career at a police department for 20. So please don't come in here and judge my integrity. If you want to talk to me privately, we can discuss whatever you want privately. But please do not come into these chambers and make accusations glaring at me like I've done something wrong. If the glares weren't meant for me, that's great. But if they were, they're misplaced. Campaign signs. They were allowed 30 days before campaign. Since we've allowed you to have smaller signs. Apparently, what are the signs for those that they can have beforehand? It's a smaller...
2 square feet, not to exceed 2 inches.
Right. It's not my fault if you can't read the rules and regulations and buy the wrong signs. Okay, so don't be mad at me about it. Everybody should have to go by what the regulations are. I did every time I ran a campaign. I ran 6 times, had to campaign 3 of them. I beat the streets, had signs out, talked to people, was honest with people, told them if I could do something, I would. If I can't, I won't. And that's the way I have been for 14 years. Never promised anything, because I'm not going to promise something I don't know that I can actually ascertain. And I have to live here too, people, and I've said this I don't know how many times. So I want to see the best representative take over my seat. And I happen to have the opinion that Ms. Ruiz is that person. Whether you like that opinion or not, I'm sorry, we're all allowed to have them. So, you know, I hate the negative campaign stuff. Can we just please carry on our campaigns individually and not try to drag other people into them and trying to make accusations that are all mysterious? Come on, grow up. Like you said, we should be a little more professional and we can be adults about this. And I suggest that we continue on that way. Again, if you'd like to talk to me, I'm available here after the meeting. I'm available by phone. I'm available by email. If you want to meet somewhere, I'll meet you here at City Hall on a different day. I've always been available like that. But please don't come out and make false accusations. I think that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
People just tend to make me get up on my soapbox.
Mr. Delanoy,
Oh, I'm good.
you're good?
Tomorrow's my birthday. I'm
Happy
70
birthday!
70 years old tomorrow.
Happy birthday.
I sing for you, but everybody runs.
That's all right.
So the benefit of being the mayor is if you forgot to say something in the beginning, you could say it at the end. So at our last meeting, Mr. Forte was meeting with the school board at their meeting because they meet the exact same time we do.
Yeah, it was our last meeting.
Joe's giving me, no, we weren't. Yeah, we were. So I reported to the people that were here to listen that Joe and I had met with the planning department of the school board, and we had a pretty heated meeting about our school and the future of our school. Since then, we have met again, which was supposed to be a half-hour meeting, which was well over 2 hours. We had a very productive meeting with the planning department of the school district, and we met over an hour with Dr. Balgama, myself, Chief Williams, and Mr. Forte, and came away with some positive ideas. Although the school board is its own entity and doesn't have to entertain anything that the city may suggest to them in any way. They were open to listening to us. They have heard our concerns and have invited us to be part of a rebranding of the Holly Hill School. So Joe and I are meeting with them next week, I think, and hopefully we can come out with some positive things. So that's all I've got for us this evening. Anyone else have anything for the good of the order? We'll stand adjourned.